I'm not being a political here, John.
Yeah.
What I'm just saying is, in a normal country, you say the exchange rate will be moving stable, price is stable. It's also the situation we are now, right now, is not stable. We are facing instability, what they call my economists macroeconomic volatility. So those are not matter by normal country. We are not normal existing because things are fluctuating. Yeah,
comrade, we are in a normal country facing abnormal challenges.
Yeah, if you want to say
right.
so. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Right. So again, what are some of the can you propound more on the recent measures that were announced by the President of the Republic to address the problems that you highlighted, comrade?
John, President announced together with the Minister of Finance and the Reserve Bank Governor announced a fast measures to try to correct the instability.
Right.
So the first thing the President vakauya ione kuti vanhu vakapataka adopta these current reforms in 2019.
Yes.
People lost their savings.
That's
Vanhu vanga vane mayesu mabank akabhanzi $1 and currency started to depreciate, losing value. So government is saying we are now trying to compensate for the lost value of those deposits. So they are now starting with vanga vane balance $1,000 and below, and then later focus on those with large accounts up to 100,000. That's the first thing the president proposes. And then secondly, on the issues of the auction, this is musika uri kutengeswa mari we-RBZ auction market. Wanga uchisangana nayo nedambudziko re.
Comrade, before you proceed, in a question, mari compensate lost value each of them. You may not answer this today, but maybe another day. But I have a hanging question.
Okay, John. Yeah. So let me proceed on the issues of auction. Musika uri kutengeswa mari. Tachisa isusu kuti musika uyu uri kusangana nedambudziko rechoti backlog. Kuti RBZ tiri kuchadza kubhadhara vanhu vari kuuya kuzotenga mari nenguva. Chaicho inonzi yatoti backlog, or in other words chikwereti chine RBZ kuvanhu vakabhidha mari dzavo. So the government announced that they are going to clear that backlog by the end of this month, and from going forward RBZ inenge yakwanisa kutengesa mari yainenge inayo panguva iyoyo uye ichifoserwa zvakare kusettle all my bids within 14 days. So that the auction then
is that not a good measure, comrade?
It's a good measure from that, but we may also need to look into it. There's some issues around the auction on its own. Put all right, John. It's going out auction right now. The rate at the auction last week was something like 165 against the parallel rate, which is now 400 plus. So it's going out to create a total arbitrage opportunity where someone can actually go to auction RBZ. Onotenga mari $US ne cheap price. When the parallel market, or make I taught you riskless profits. Enjoy taught arbitrage. Do challenge you.
Comrade, now you see, for non-economists like myself, you know, we then wonder, should the government follow the parallel rate, or what should really happen here in order to deal with this arbitrage activity that you're talking about?
Recently also tataranya clearing auction. Government yakabet you panga pakamboiswa ne monetary policy committee atinoti the willing buyer willing seller. Saka urumende pama measures akanaunzwa msunu yakabva yatiyo the willing buyer willing seller ndo yaveyo yatoti maybe the reference rate ichange chishandiswa. Saka vanhu vese vari kuliquidata mari dzavo, like my exporters who are liquidating 40%, they are now liquidating or selling to RBZ at the willing buyer willing seller. So willing buyer willing seller is now more like the rate which is used by even urumende yakabva announced that my retailers and wholesalers should sell their commodities, goods and services, you benchmarking my prices, local prices at the willing buyer willing seller rate. Okay. But still John, that willing buyer willing seller rate challenge atinayo right now ndoti urumende iri kuda kumaintaina the auction rate which atataura kuti iri overvalued. Yoda kumaintaina futi the willing buyer willing seller, right. And we have the parallel rates. So we have a system yokuti we have multiple exchange rates. Tine parallel, tine two official, tine ma parallel, kuma parallel tine bond rate, bond note rate, tine RTGS rate, tine cash rate. Okay. So is compound that the situation to have a multi-tier pricing system in the economy. So what you are just saying, for me, says John, all right, if government decides to keep the willing buyer willing seller, so now let's do away with the auction. Then we'll just run a willing buyer willing seller and the parallel rate. Then I believe these two rates may actually converge in the long run, as long as this willing buyer, willing seller is not affected or manipulated. As we know before, RBZ sometimes they can come and put my circuit breakers to say the rates cannot depreciate by this amount. So if the RBZ does not interfere on the willing buyer, willing seller, I do believe that we may actually find we may unify the parallel and the
official rate
and to reduce the premiums maybe to 10%, 20%.
Exactly.
And like to keep the auction, the willing buyer seller, and then the parallel market rate. Yeah.
So, comrade, very quickly, time is always not enough. Time is always not enough. I wanted to find out from you: are these measures sufficient to address the problems that are in the economy? Where are we heading, comrade?
Muone wrong John ma-measures ndakamatarisa because hatina idu time kuinda one on one and their impact. But in overall ndakamatarisa ma-measures the intention of the government is trying to ensure that they increase their, because if you look then there's now a cash levy for withdrawing US dollars. They're saying if you're withdrawing more than 2,000 we are going to face 2%.
More than 1,000 US dollars.
More than 1,000 US dollars. Yes. Charge at 2%. You have not cash withdrawal levy, and there's now also 4% on all 4% tax, like the 2% local currency. There's now 4% tax on all electronic transfers in my US dollars economy. So these challenges are instead, and we have banned, John. The banks are now banned from lending in this country. So
all the banks, some are saying the RBZ has been banned from its lending mandate.
It's now banks, all banks, including the RBZ, because RBZ borrows on behalf of the government in the private sector.
Okay.
And now the government is saying RBZ should no longer borrow on behalf of the government from in the private sector. And also banks are their commandate is lending in any economy. But now government is saying stop all lending. Which is the core business of the banks.
So, comrades, my head is cracking here. Are you saying that I can no longer go and get a loan from the bank?
You no longer get a loan from the bank, John.
Any bank
in Zimbabwe, lending is now illegal for banks.
Okay.
Of which the core business of banks is to lend. And any economy survives on lending. My companies they face my working capital problems. They need so also as households we need to buy properties. We need to face. There are some expenses which may need a short loan. So now
what happens to existing facilities? Suppose somebody already had a loan.
So I think government is going to put some measure. All from the day they announced going forward, all those obligations, I'm sure I think they should be settled. But from the day they announced up until they lift the suspension, I think we can no longer get any loan from the bank. So John, all these measures, in my view, are some problems in the economy, like the issue of my banks. You can increase my borrowing costs in the economy, my transaction costs increase. I started in formalization of credit. I told my informal credit markets, of which informal credit markets the biggest challenge. Arab business has no control or have little control over them. So we have that. We are already our economy is over 60% informalized. So now these measures have promoted informalization, which is costly.
Right.
And these cash levies that are still joined, it's going to affect also my general citizens because issues of financial inclusion. We have been talking. You cannot withdraw. Withdraw more than 1,000 or 4%. All this it is burdening.
So in the end,
they are now these measures are promoting a cash economy. Which a cash economy is saying people now transact my cash US dollar. A person need to auction some banks, my former, but auction of which cash economy, do a black market economy. So no,
we are going to lose revenue to the government.
We are going to lose. The government is going to lose revenue, and the citizens are going to suffer. And we may also see debt. Our debt is already high, John. Recently, the latest statistics show it 13.7 billion, of which our government would clear auction backlog, all those issues. About where are they going to take the money? Previously, RBZ to finance these current reforms, they borrowed 1.4 billion from Afrexim Bank. So it means that they're also going to more debt. So you see now, these measures are also bringing more debt. So in my view, they are compounding the crisis.
So in short, Comrade Bravo, as we wind up, viewers, my comrade economist here is saying that recent pronouncement, recent measures by the government of Zimbabwe to address the macroeconomic challenges that we are facing are not enough.
Why I'm saying
What needs to be done?
What needs to be done, Johnny? Yes, thank you. What needs to be done now is not only focusing on the current site. We now need to address the entire economy. Like I said, we need to have to liberalize the exchange rate, which is the willing buy, willing seller rate system. If we liberalize it, right?
Yeah.
That's the number one. Number two, recently you saw the government is overpaying my contractors, is overspending this economy. Should consider too much liquidity.
Right.
So I think government should spend within its means. Paying my contractors or service providers at market rates, right? From there, then John, we need to address issues of corruption.
Right.
The Auditor General always points out, local authorities, the central government, parastatals, state-owned enterprises, is corruption everywhere. So we need also to address corruption.
Corruption.
And corruption is one of the, because my estimates are saying we are losing over 5 billion per year due to corruption and illicit financial flows.
Bravo, on the issue of corruption and illicit financial flows. Viewers, we will take it up in our next episode, and we are going to be talking about capping issues of corruption and leakages in the economy.
Exactly.
Thank you very much, Comrade Bravo. Your last words to the viewer.
My last words to the viewers is that you viewers, what you just need is the economy is tightening. You need to actually spend responsibly as these things wind up.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Stay tuned and watch for our next episode. Thank you.